Welcome back to Miss Teacher Tube with Janice Leong. On today's episode, we're going to be looking at height, width, and distance around. So let's just get through the vocabulary first. Height. If something is high, you can also use the word tall as well. So it is this way. Width is this way. So if something is wide, if you put your hands on the top of your desk at school and you go this way, that's how wide it is. You go this way, that's how long it is. Okay. If you go from the floor up, that's how long it is, how tall it is. Same kind of word. Now, I want to also talk about the distance around an object. Sometimes you need a string to measure the distance around an object. For example, if you're going to measure the distance around your wrist, pretty hard to wrap snap cubes around your wrist. So sometimes we need to use strings and then measure the string afterwards for distance around. Have fun on today's episode. I'll see you soon. Welcome back. So we're going to be looking at what width is, what height is, what the distance around looks like, how we're going to measure that, and then I'm going to talk to you about the questions coming up because they're a little different than what you're used to. So first of all, if we're talking about the height, let's take a look at my snap cube. So if I were to sit it this way, I would say, how high is it? So to measure height, we're going this way. How wide is it? We would go this way to measure the width. Now, if it's laying this way, all of a sudden this becomes the height and this becomes the width. So when you're measuring, I want you to think of your desk at school. So height would be floor up, width would be this way. How high is it? How wide is it? I have a whole bunch of things coming up that I'm measuring. We're going to be measuring height and width and distance around. So now with distance around, I was talking to you earlier, I'm using a very fancy ribbon when I'm measuring distance around. And basically what I'm doing is I've got a starting place, and I'm wrapping it around my object, and where the two come together is my measurement. I'm going to mark it on my ribbon, so then that would be the distance around, the distance from here to here. You'll see it in my next video. Before you get on to the questions, I have to go over what they're going to look like with you. Now you're going to need some reading help. So either your teacher can help you read them, or mom and dad, if you're working from home, can help you read through the problems. They are true and false problems. Now I'm not sure if you've had experience working with true and false problems, but let's just go over what the word true means. So if something is true, it's correct. It is right. If something is false, it's wrong. You wouldn't choose that because it's incorrect or wrong. So choosing what's true is the right choice. Yes, you agree, that's correct. False, no, not right. Okay, have fun working on the activities. Watch the video carefully later on. Talk to you soon. So now I'm going to measure the distance around objects. For this activity, I'm going to measure the distance around my book, my plant pot, and this small mug. And we're going to compare those distances around these objects and see which is longest and shortest. This is the ribbon I'm going to use, and I'm going to wrap it around each object and mark the spot that it ends at when I'm done wrapping it. Now I'm going to start by measuring the distance around the book. I'm going to wrap the ribbon around, and where the ribbon crosses over, I'm going to mark that spot. Here you see I've put a piece of masking tape where that spot is on my ribbon. Now I'm going to take the same ribbon and wrap it around my plant pot, and where the ribbon comes together, I'm going to mark that spot with a piece of masking tape as well. Now when I flatten out my ribbon, I can see where the plant pot was measured and where the book was measured. The next item I'm going to wrap my ribbon around is my small mug. And of course, where the ribbon comes together, I'm going to mark that with a piece of masking tape. Here is the third piece of masking tape. You can see that it is way further down on the ribbon than the other two markings. So now I'm going to use my ribbon to organize my items from the longest distance around to the shortest distance around. The longest distance around, if you look at the ribbon, was my plant pot. It took more ribbon to wrap around my plant pot than anything else in this lineup. The second longest item for distance around was the book. And of course, the little mug has the shortest distance around. Welcome back. Well, that's everything for today's episode on Miss Teacher Tube. I hope you have learned a lot about height, width, and distance around. Again, if these videos are useful to you, please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye for now.